guys, I'm Saumya, and on my channel Saumya's Bookstation I try to spread all the book love that I can. So if you are a book lover or want to become one, then do subscribe to my channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so that every time I post a video you get notified. I love graphic novels. I have talked about quite a few graphic novels in 2017, but then in 2018 I did read quite a few books, but I somehow did not read as many graphic novels as I wanted to. So I thought the least I can do is dedicate one whole video on my graphic novel collection that lies on my bookshelf that is not entirely visible in this frame. This is the bookshelf on which all my lovely, amazing graphic novels lie. This bookshelf that consists of my graphic novels is my most expensive bookshelf. So before I get into the video, let me tell you, I did not buy all these graphic novels all at once. I could never really afford to buy them all at once. But I think I should have considered buying them all at once, because then I would have realized how expensive they are, and then I would have refrained from buying so many graphic novels, and I might have saved some money and my bank account would not have been cursing me every single day of my life at this point of time. So in today's video, I'm going to show you all the graphic novels that I have, and I'll tell you a little bit about those as well so you know what these graphic novels are about. I have to begin with Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. Now this is the first ever graphic novel that I read somewhere in early 2017. Before I read this graphic novel, I was not really very much into these, but after I read it, I was completely taken by the concept of graphic novels. So this graphic novel is actually based on the true story of Marjane Satrapi's life in Iran under its oppressive regime in 1980s and 1990s. This is the graphic novel that makes you sad, but at the same time it also has a lot of raw humor. I got this for around 400 rupees. The next graphic novel is V for Vendetta, written by Alan Moore and illustrated by David Lloyd. So this story is set in an imagined dystopian England that has come out of the nuclear war. Now there is a totalitarian government, there is fascism in the country. We have the protagonist who calls himself V, who wears a Guy Fawkes mask, and he's somebody who wants to overthrow the government. He tries to deliver justice to the citizens in his own way. Very, very powerful, very intense. I had gotten it for INR 1200. The next one is Mouse by Art Spiegelman. So this one is a hardcover, as you can see, very, very cherished. I got this one for around 1200 as well. Anyway, this is the graphic novel that I have not yet read. It's basically about the life of author's father during Holocaust, and in this graphic novel Jews have been shown as mice and Nazis have been shown as cats. So this graphic novel also won the Pulitzer Prize, so it's very, very acclaimed. The next one is Freedom Hospital by Hamid Suleiman. So this one is actually a graphic novel that you can read if you want to know about the situation in Syria and how basically the things started there. I myself had very little knowledge about that, so that's why I was interested in this graphic novel. It shed a lot of light for me as a reader. So in this story, a girl named Yasmin sets up a secret hospital for the treatment of the revolutionaries, and we follow their stories. I got this one for 550 rupees. The next one is this. It's Deathnote all-in-one edition. I got it from Delhi International Book Fair in January 2018. I also talked about this one in my book haul video that I made for Delhi International Book Fair in January itself. You can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. So my friend said that this one is a worthwhile purchase, so I thought I'll go ahead with it. I paid over 2000 rupees for this, but I didn't mind at that time because I had saved up for book fair specifically. So I had said it in my book haul video of January 2018, and I'll say it right now that I did not know that when you read a manga comic, you open it from the back. You read it from the back. It's like the opposite of how you read a normal book. In case of manga, it's like this. So it'll take some time getting used to. The next book is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one is a cine comic story. This is actually an animated movie, and this is a comic of that movie. It basically consists of the frames from the movie for the illustrations. I love this. It's such an adorable story. It's like Christmas and Halloween sort of come together in this book. I cannot tell you how much it cost me because it was a gift from a friend and I really cherished this gift. The next two are the Game of Thrones graphic novels. This is volume 2 and this is volume 3. I don't have volume 1 and 4. I got this from HarperCollins mega sale last year in 2017. 50 rupees each. I mean, that sale was crazy in terms of its pricing, so that's why I could get my hands on these hardcovers for 50 rupees each, like 100 rupees for both of them. So yeah, this is basically the story from the first book, but only second and third volume. Then next up I have this collection of Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. All the books that I've come out until now, because I find the story of Greg Heffley extremely funny. The next two are these. Both are Zen Pencils. This is Zen Pencils Volume 1. This is Zen Pencils Volume 2, Dream the Impossible Dream. Both of these graphic novels are actually full of lots of illustrations by Gavin Ontang, and he has basically used inspirational quotes and he has made illustrations around those quotes to make them even more effective. I got volume 1 for 400 rupees and I got volume 2 for 400 something as well. The next one is The 100 Nights of Hero by Isabel Greenberg. So this is the graphic novel that I am yet to read. I got this last year as well. Last year I was really on a spending spree. This book cost me around 1800 rupees. Yes, that's the kind of money I was spending last year on graphic novels. All my hard-earned money, mind you. But I don't regret it. A little bit, whatever. So this is a collection of folklores, different folklores that somehow contribute to a bigger story. And from what I know, this is a book that attacks patriarchy through the stories because the stories are set in a misogynistic world. The next book is Adi Parva Churning of the Ocean by Amrita Patil. So this one is a feminist retelling of Mahabharata before the birth of Pandavas and Kauravas, and this has been narrated by Ganga. So this is a book that is something else. This is a very unique sort of a retelling, and this is a book that I can only say it's a very, very enchanting graphic novel. This one I got for 700 rupees. The next one is Blankets by Craig Thompson. So this is quite a big graphic novel. I am yet to read this one. So I got this one for 1500 rupees. Also, I had made a video in 2017 called Graphic Novels I Want to Read. So quite a few of my subscribers had suggested that I pick up Blankets as well. And I thought, why not go for it? The next one is Kari by Amrita Patil. This one I got for around 380 rupees or something like that. So this is a relatively cheaper graphic novel in my collection. So this one is a story that is set in Mumbai. And this story begins with a failed double suicide attempt. Two girls named Ruth and Kari try to attempt suicide, but they're not able to. They're really close to each other. But after the failed suicide attempt, Ruth leaves the city and Kari is all alone, left behind in Mumbai. So it's a story about Kari from Kari's perspective. The next one is Habibi by Craig Thompson. So I got my hands on this one because Craig Thompson is quite popular. I got Blankets, so I thought I'll get this one as well. I am yet to read this one. The synopsis of the story is quite fascinating. It's a story of a girl who escapes slavery and then she also saves an abandoned baby boy. And as they both grow up, the nature of their relationship changes. So one day she's captured by the Sultan and he has to basically save her. I got this one for 1200 rupees. The next book is Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. So this is a YA graphic novel. Anya is a teenager. She is a Russian immigrant in USA. One day she falls into a well and she finds the ghost of a girl at the bottom of the well. And they basically become friends. And it's Anya's life after she becomes friend with that ghost. Initially I was liking this. It had a good, nice feel to it. It even got a bit spooky. But I was not extremely impressed by this one. It could have been better, I think. It was kind of a letdown. I got this one for 600 rupees. The next book is Just So Happens by Fumio Obata. So this one is a story of a woman named Yumiko. She lives in London. She has a good life in London. And one day she gets a call from her brother when her father dies. So she goes back to Japan for all the rituals and traditions. So when she's in Japan, she faces quite a lot of identity crisis there, because after all, Japanese culture is her own culture and London culture is her adopted culture. I got this one for 700 rupees. The next book is American Born Chinese by Jean Luan Yang. This was such a disappointing purchase for me. I don't even remember exactly how much it had cost me. I think it was around 700 or something. And I'm not sure. I would like to really forget that I spent money on this one. It's a story of this Chinese American student. There is a monkey who wants to become God. Then there is this American boy who has a very annoying Chinese cousin. They all have difficult situations, but they somehow need to come together to help each other. Very confusing. I do not recommend this one at all. The next one is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This is a YA graphic novel. So Nimona is a shapeshifter. She basically is the sidekick of a super villain called Lord Barrister Blackheart. They have some evil plans. If you want to read a fun, nice graphic novel, then you can go for it. And this one was for 500 rupees. The next one is Burma Chronicles by Guy Delisle. So this is kind of a travelogue that Guy Delisle has illustrated and written, basing on his 1 year that he stayed in Burma with his wife and his son. So this is non-fiction and very, very engaging and interesting. I got this one for 700 something. The next one is Awkward by Svetlana Shmakova. So this one is about a girl named Penelope and she has just joined a new school. She bumps into this shy, nerdy boy. She doesn't treat him nicely because she wants to maintain the school image, so their initial meeting is not exactly good. But then they kind of become friends. This one I got for 400. The next one is This One Summer by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. So this is a story about two teenage girls, Rose and Windy. So every summer Rose goes to Avago Beach with her parents, but this particular summer her parents are not exactly on best terms. So when Rose meets Windy, they get up to their escapades there. Basically they hang out together. If you are a girl, then you are more likely to like it because it's a story about two teenage girls transition from adolescence to adulthood kind of. The next one is Fun Home, a family tragic comic by Alison Bechdel. So this is her own memoir and she has basically focused on her relationship with her father while she was growing up. This graphic novel is very depressing. The fun in this Fun Home here actually stands for funerals. You don't feel like putting it down. She has talked about her sexuality. She has talked about her father's sexuality. There are lots of uncomfortable, too much information moments in this book as well. This one was for 900 rupees. So that was my graphic novels collection, guys. I hope you liked this video. Let me know if you have read any of these or if you would like to read any of these. I would love to hear from you. If you want to connect with me on my social media, links are in the description box. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye-bye.